The Jesuit motto, men and women for others, is absolutely a tenet of military service. Those principles are inextricably linked. In everything from athletics to fine arts, we're really focused on each other and on each other's welfare and on giving back.
In the Air Force, they teach us integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. It teaches you not to be selfish, give your time back, give a little bit more of yourself for the greater good. So I believe that here, all of us, teachers, staff, faculty, everyone is given a little bit into every single child that's here. No matter the background, the sex, religion, financial status, we all give a little bit back to these students here.
Jesuit High School is known for academics, athletics, theater, and a number of clubs. Students are asked to be men and women for others. Sean followed this when he was in the Army. At the memorial service when Sean was killed, along with 4 other of his fellow soldiers, Sean was described as the go-to guy. Whether it was to fix door handles on the trucks or just to talk, Sean was always there for us.
I think Sergeant Fennerty continues to be the epitome of a man who serves his country and serves his fellow man. He gave the ultimate sacrifice with his service, and he's been an inspiration to generations of Jesuit high school students. My son, John Arndorfer, who graduated in 2017 from Jesuit High School and eventually from the University of Notre Dame in 2021, he was inspired by Sean, and he actually became a United States Marine Corps officer, an infantry platoon commander, because he had examples like Sean Fennerty and said, I want to do that as well. When you talk about honor and courage, dependability, you talk about resourcefulness, making sure that you have a work ethic that is always focused on justice and serving others. I'm so grateful to so many people at Jesuit High School, students, alums, faculty, staff, parents, that have gone out and served our country in a myriad of ways.
Think about my wonderful colleagues that I'm in the history department with Mr. Jeff Honeycutt, was an Army Ranger. Mr. Yancey, John Yancey, served in the Coast Guard. One of my very closest friends in the world is Major Rob Skokin. He's in Kosovo and protecting our freedoms there, away from his family for a year. And I think again, I go back to people like Sean. I was that guy in my 20s with a college degree who went into the military. I think of Herm Schattenberg, who volunteered for the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War. Former librarian Mrs. Fritz, Kathy Fritz, her daughter was a helicopter pilot, and her daughter served in Desert Storm.
I would say what inspired me to serve was an opportunity to give back and do something that I felt had extreme value. 2 of the most influential people in my life outside of my family came from Jesuit. Both Ken and Jean Potter, football coach and basketball coach, had tremendous impacts on my life. Work ethic, teamwork, giving everything you have, expecting excellence.
What inspired me to serve my country, I would have to say my faith, seeking God every day and knowing that God has put me in this place to serve that role for others and to serve others, and whether it's giving them a voice or protecting their rights. So I do think that Jesuit motto of being a woman for others really, really comes through my specific military experience.
The values of being a person for others and always striving to do well whatever you do really carried me through my military service. As a Jesuit football player, I had a strong desire to join the world's best team, which is the U.S. military, and give back to our country. Go Sabres.
One really sets aside maybe sort of some selfish ideas that you have about yourself or what your needs are, and really putting your all into working with other service members towards a bigger goal, towards something bigger than any one individual person. And I definitely see that. I see echoes of that in Jesuit here every day through the sort of Christian service program that we have and missions and values that we talk about often, that we try and imbue our students with on a day in and day out basis.
I think the way to best remember Sean and his service and his sacrifice is to not forget and to try to emulate what he tried to do, not necessarily in the military, because the service to the military is not for everyone, but we can all serve other people in a variety of ways. And I think that's the lesson that Sean taught us, that serving others is actually the key to having a successful life and being happy with who you are.
So you say in the Coast Guard, when you're done, like, okay, so your watch has ended. And in a way, his watch has not ended. It's continuing, but it's continuing in a different medium, a different space. He was a sergeant, right? So what he did was very real, was very visceral, was very meaningful, was very measurable. And so he's still making things happen. His spirit is still vibrant and alive and very much engaged in this world, and he's still on mission.
So on this Day of Giving, I think it's fantastic that Jesuit has chosen to honor not only my brother, but all of the men and women that either graduated from here or work here now or previously and have served in the military. As far as what it means to know that Sean is recognized annually, it's been 18 years, but it sort of gets you every year. And it means so much to my family that really the first community that stepped up when Sean died was not only men and women that had served, but the Jesuit community and John Clark was there on day one. We had his service here. The fact that Sean's memory is entwined with Jesuit in a community that is so important to my family and that we just love, can't really put words on how much that means.
We all have an opportunity to give back. If you believe that a Jesuit education provides the kind of values and principles and has the kind of mission that's worth investing in, we'd ask alums, parents, students to continue to give generously to Jesuit High School, to provide students who otherwise wouldn't be at Jesuit High School the opportunity to access a wonderful Jesuit High School education. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all alums, to all faculty and staff, to all parents, current parents, past parents, anyone associated with this great community that has served this great country. We are deeply grateful.
At some point, all Sean's nieces and nephews will be old enough to know about him. At some point, they will see him with his big smile in his Army uniform. And at some point, they will hear Sean's whistle.
All right, you guys ready? Yeah. Here we go. We'll set it up. This is checkpoint 21. The Chamber Whistler Choir. Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1.